Cowabunga dudes and dudettes, this is Anthony, aka Batbomb82, and today I'll be doing a review of the Medicom Mafex, The Dark Knight Returns Superman. Now, taking a look at the front, we can see that the figure is showcasing your standard Mafex window box packaging. Turning the box around, we can see multiple images and panels showcasing the figure in multiple posing positions with his different interchangeable parts and accessories. So with the box out of the way, let's go ahead and crack this figure open and let him breathe. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at this new Medicom Mafex, The Dark Knight Returns Superman. I am so stoked about this thing, man, as I think Mafex has just been killing it in my opinion. And I've said before, I was like for the longest time just not a Mafex fan because I think their figures were just so shoddy and very terribly put together, but they've really been stepping up their game the past couple years, and these ones from DC that they're doing, the DC properties, have just been so spectacular, and I think this thing looks great. First of all, the proportions look amazing here. I love that head sculpt. I love his giant curl. Oh my god, just very Frank Miller-esque. I think it looks so good. You got a nice wash in there as well, looking really good. You can see the blue in there like that. The brow, the eyes look amazing. That incredibly thick jawline. Holy crap, that's a man. I love it so much. The S looks really good too. That is actually sculpted on there, not just painted over the torso. So that looks really good. But I love how you can see like the little folds and things like that throughout the suit. It's not just a flat surface, you know what I mean? So it looks like he's actually wearing a suit. Same thing like right here, you can see the folds of the actual suit around it. The boots look really nice too. There's a little bit of wash on the boots right there. You can see a little bit of a darker red. And they're looking really nice. No peg holes at the bottom. But again, the proportions just look, again, perfect to those Frank Miller comics where they were just like super jacked. I think it looked great. I love the cape here. It has the yellow S on the back. What I do like as well is the thickness of this cape. This is definitely, in my opinion, one of the best soft goods capes I've ever seen on an action figure. It is nice and thick, does not feel cheap, very good quality, and it works out very well. It does have a bendy wire throughout this, so you can pose it around and move and do whatever you really want to. It does billow out if you need to, but you can see it's kind of like folded in like that. I love how it's not too long, how it's not like touching the floor. I always believe that he should have, Superman himself should have a little bit of shorter cape. I kind of wish it was a little bit shorter, but that's fairly accurate for the most part. Again, the back looks good. I mean, look at the big ass muscles on his back, dude. You can see the label right there, but his super butt looks really good too. You can see a little bit of airbrush right down the crack, so you can see his culo nice and tight. All of this just looks amazing, man. I, again, just love this. That curl is just something spectacular. I'm really digging how this turned out. So now moving on to accessories here, we do get a decent amount, not a ton, but pretty much everything you do need. So we do got closed-fisted hands that come packaged in the box. We do get more kind of loose-fingered hands. We got more stretched out flight posing hands, hands with the fingers more flared out and separated. Then we do get types of gripping hands. And the gripping hands are gonna be more so for holding the little arrow that it comes with. I think this is super cool. I think it was a kryptonite arrow or something like that, right? And this just pretty much unpegs right there at the tip, and you can slide it through the hand like so, and then take this like that, leave it on there like that, and then just unpeg a hand like that. I love the straight pegs like that, works out pretty good. And then you can hold it in his hand like so. We also do get an interchangeable head, so you can pop this one off again just on a standard Mafex peg. Pop this one on right here because that kryptonite is really jacking him up, and you can really see the battle damage on that face. He just looks scarred and burned. I mean, you can see the agony on his face. It just looks so freaking good. I do dig how that came out. Now, my big thing with that is, even though I love the way that looks, and I do love both heads, I kind of wish it came with a more angrier head, you know, without the scarring and without the battle damage. I think that would have really set this off, because this looks like an angry head, but it's battle damage. This one looks a little too neutral, so I wish we had a little more of an action-posed head without the scarring. I think that would have really set it off. Okay, so now let's move on to the articulation here. The head and the neck are on separate ball pegs, so you get a lot of good motion in there. Does turn left and right, up, fairly far, down all the way that much, and then wobbles side to side. Arms can go full 360, up and out that far, with the addition of that butterfly joint in there. So that cup has a lot of good motion in there as well. Really does help to extend that arm up like that, back and forth a tiny bit, back more so than it does forward. But if you get it over the pec right here and have it forward, you can get some really good flight poses and things like that. And he looks up pretty decently, so I do like that a lot. We got a rotation of the bicep, double jointed elbows that work very nicely and look pretty good. We got rotation at the wrist as well as a hinge at the wrist. We get a double ball peg in the midsection that goes into the crotch, and another one into the upper torso, so that rolls around very nicely, does turn left and right, crunches back and forth, and pivots side to side. Hip joints that kick forward up that much, back about that far, splits all the way out about that much, rotation in the upper thigh, double jointed knees that bend like that, nothing at the boot, ankles go up, down, a sweet ankle rocker, and then we do get toe articulation. So overall, I think this is a fantastic piece. Again, if any of you were weary in the past about Mafex and how just honestly kind of crappy their figures were for the longest time, believe me, I was one of those people who was just crapping all over them and all over the figures because I absolutely hated them. But man, they've been killing it lately. These new DC ones, the new comic book accurate figures, are just almost so perfect. It's insane. Yes, they're expensive, and yes, the wait for them to come out is really long, but damn, are they worth it. And this Superman, in my opinion, is one of the best Superman figures you could possibly get. And for those reasons, he is definitely a must get. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Deadpool and Mafex Batman figure. Also for comparison, here he is standing next to the Dark Knight Returns Mafex Batman. And just for fun, here he is with little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys, my review of the Medicom Mafex, The Dark Knight Returns Superman. And again, like I've stated many times recently, I have been loving what Medicom has been doing with their more comic book accurate figures. And for me personally, the Batman and DC stuff is incredible. They are giving us some of the best Batman figures, some of the best Superman figures, and I genuinely do mean that. And that's coming from someone who hated their product for so freaking long. The articulation is just solid. You can pose it in pretty much any way you can possibly need. I love all the interchangeable hands. I love the interchangeable head with the arrow. I think it looks great. The cape is one of the best capes that I've ever seen. I also love that it has the bendy wire, so that works out really good too. This is a really good and high quality figure. My only real complaint or minor nitpick would be that I just wish it came with another head, with a little more angrier head that wasn't all battle damage. That's just me. Still, the ones that it does come with are pretty much awesome and perfect, so I really do love those. This is a fantastic figure, probably one of my favorite Superman figures of all time, and definitely a must get. So be excellent to each other, and stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.